What's up guys, my name's Luke and welcome back to Motion and Design. So I saw this really amazing render by this guy called Soft Focus. They did this really cool render inside of Houdini, which is just this kind of like cloth simulation. And I thought it could be pretty cool to create something like that, but inside of Cinema 4D, just using Cinema 4D's like default cloth simulations. So it's going to be a bit different to what they did, but I just thought I'd say it because that was like the reference that I used for this kind of artwork that I created. Yeah, in this tutorial, we're going to be going over how I created the cloth and the cloth simulations. I'm not going to go over the scene creation, but all of that project files and stuff like that will be up on Patreon. So yeah, if you guys would like to support the channel and get a bunch of project files, please consider supporting me on Patreon. I have a bunch of artworks over there, project files, and a bunch of tutorials. So yeah, please support me there. If not, like and subscribe does go a long way. But yeah, let's get into this. Cool, so let's start out over here in a default Cinema 4D scene, and let's just grab a plane. We're going to make this plane pretty big, probably about 1,000 by 1,000, and we're going to add quite a few segments. So we're going to add 400 by 400. So at the moment, my PC can run it with this amount of segments, but if you're working with a slower PC, it might be a better idea just to lower the subdivisions for now, and then later on when it comes to caching, then increase these, just so that you're able to actually see what's happening in real time. Cool, so I'm just going to put this at the +Z axis over here, and if we press NB, you can see it's a very detailed mesh. Maybe we can actually just drop this down to 200 by 200 for now. And then when it comes to rendering, we'll increase that. Cool. Let's start out over here by adding a vertex map. Cool. And then inside of our vertex map, we want to add a box field. Cool. So let's just grab our box field over here for now. And let's make this a lot smaller, maybe like 2 in the Y. And then make it like really long in the X, and then in the remapping, let's just turn the inner offset all the way up over here. So that now we get this nice line that goes across. I'm going to grab the box field and put it inside of a cloner. I'm going to set that to linear, and I'm going to set it to 7 in the count over here. And I'm going to just put this at the very bottom over here. You don't need to put it in a cloner. I just find it was just easier for what I was trying to do. And then I'm able to just do this and get a nice evenly distributed bunch of box fields. Cool, like that is perfectly fine. And now we want to have this. You can't just drag the cloner in here, unfortunately. If you add it as like a MoGraph object, that won't work. But what we can do is that we can just click C over here, and then now we get a bunch of box fields. Let's lock this over here and put these in here. Before we do anything with this, let's just add 2 more fields. I'm going to duplicate this and do it again. And then what these are going to do is that we're just going to put these on the other edge. Cool. And now that that's done, we have a pretty good start out over here. So let's just go with this selected and let's just drag these last 2 in here. And now we need to set all of these to max. We can go and just hide all these cloners, although we are missing that. Why are we missing that? Yeah, let's just maybe move this one. Okay, I think the reason that some of them aren't showing up, it could just be just due to how many segments we have on our plane. So let's just increase this for now. And yeah, there we go. We are back to where we want to be. Cool. So what this is going to do is that we're pretty much telling the cloth simulation where we want there to be cloth and where we want there not to be cloth. Cool. So now that we have that, we can add a cloth tag. So let's go simulations and let's add a cloth tag. So we can go into the mix animations over here and let's turn on with pins and add our vertex map here. And if we had to press play, you'll notice that nothing really changes, nothing really happens. The reason for that is that with Cinema 4D, yellow is where the vertex map is affecting over here and red is where it's not. So we need to swap this around. And a nice easy fix is just to click on invert. Let's go over here, click on invert, and there we have that. I think we might want to just refine this a bit more, just so that when it comes to the simulations, we don't have any weird artifacts over there. Something like that. Maybe I need to increase these fields to like 3 centimeters or 4 centimeters. Yeah, I think that looks better. Oh, and now that this is inverted, let's go and press play again and let's see what happens. Nice, now we're getting what we want. It is only affecting the areas where it is yellow over here, which is what we want. Cool, so right now you're noticing that we're getting a lot of these, a lot of movement and a lot of like flickering in here. And the reason for that is that, hold on, let me just show you. So the reason for all of these like flickering and like all of that is that if we had to go look at our vertex map over here, you can see that with the folds and stuff, the vertex map is kind of going over here and that's causing it to flicker. So we can fix that by just going over here and turn off this use deformed points. Let's go back, click play. And now you can see we get a much better result. Way cleaner, way smoother, and that's exactly what we want. Cool. So that's the basics of there. Let's go over here and let's add another vertex map. Vertex map, and in here we're going to add a shader field. Let's go into our shader over here and click on noise. We're going to choose a cell noise because we want these blocks. Let's set this to 2000 over here. And then let's just refine this a bit. So I think I'm going to set this to around 83. Let's see, is that, yeah, just so that we're getting at that it just cuts off over there. And let's get these to be nice squares. So maybe something like nice, like that is perfect. Cool, let's add some animation to this. Let's set this to like 0.7, and I'm just going to increase the low clip over here just to add a little bit more contrast. Cool, now that we have that, let's go back into our cloth over here. Let's go to the surface and let's increase the bendiness to 500, the stretchiness to 500, and the target length to about 300. Let's put this latest vertex map in each of them. And let's press play and see what happens. Cool. So now you can see that we're getting some pretty cool detail over here. Wherever it's yellow, we're getting a lot of crinkling, and then wherever it's red, it's getting a lot more smooth. So we get this like nice variety over here, which is pretty cool. Let's just go and refine this a bit more. Let's go and add some wind into the scene. Just going to rotate it this way. Something like that. Just move it like there. Let's add maybe 500 over here to the wind speed. Just rotated the wrong way. There we go. Cool. And now we're getting the effect that we want. You can see that it droops, and then at a certain point, it should change. Yeah, there we go. It changes based on the shader field over here. Great, that is exactly what we want. When I was messing around with this, every now and then I'd come into this issue where these two vertex maps would kind of fight over each other. And I found that if you just move the shader vertex map into the very front, that sometimes fixes it. And let's also just turn off this use deformed points. And then we should get a cleaner simulation. Let's go and add a plane over here. And let's go and add it behind this. Something like that. Let's make this quite big. And let's just put this a little bit further back. Other way. Something like that. Let's just add a few more segments to this. Just something like that. And let's go and add a collider tag on here. We can turn off the bounce because we don't really need it to bounce. We just don't want it to go into this other wall because for this thing, I kind of wanted it to feel like an artwork and like a living, breathing artwork. At least that's the idea I had behind this piece. And let's press play again, and let's just see how that looks. Nice. It's drooping down. We're getting a lot of really nice detail over here. And then it changes with the vertex map and flips around. Awesome. And it's not intersecting over here, which is exactly what we want. Maybe we could just move this plane a little bit more forward. But yeah, I think that's fine for now. I think the only other things we want to do to this is that we want to add a redshift object tag, and let's just go over here and turn on tessellation, just so that when we're rendering, all of these come out smooth and we don't get these like flat polygons over here. Nice. Let's just go and refine this a bit more, just because there's a lot of segments in here, so there might be a bunch of like intersections. So let's just go into our simulation settings. I'm going to turn off the substeps to 22. I'm going to set the passes to 4 and the extra iterations to 2. So you might not need to do this, but for this specific one that I was creating, I needed to do this just to make it a little bit smoother. Depending on what you're doing, the size of it, how you're affecting it, you might need to change those, but I think it should be pretty decent. But if you are getting a lot more intersections, then just turn up the collision iterations, and that should help over there. And now look, we get a really nice simulation that's dynamic, it's moving, it doesn't intersect, but we get it a really cool look. Nice. Yeah, I like it. I think it looks cool. And we get these like nice line over here. So one thing that I didn't do with my artwork, but what you could do with yours is you could add like a stitching line across each of these just to make it look a little bit more interesting, but you don't need to do that. You can keep it as is. And then yeah, create the artwork how you want to create the artwork. I'm going to leave this tutorial over here. Actually, just one thing, if you want to texture this, just a really easy way that you can go about texturing it is by using a blender over here, a material blender. Let's go blend between this, and let's go material color 1, 2. I'm going to set this one to like, I don't know, I had green in the artwork, so I might as well add a green over here. Then let's just add a vertex attribute. Vertex attribute, and let's plug this into the blend color over here. Let's just add our other vertex map. And now if we open up Redshift, you can see that we get a really nice render over here. Okay, sorry, it's not a really nice render, it's a cool simulation, but you're able to adjust the materials. So yeah, I'll leave that up to you guys. I've done like a bunch of tutorials on like texturing and stuff like that, so I don't think I want to go into this. I just wanted to do the basic simulation. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing, and the other project files will be up on Patreon. So yeah, if you're interested, please support me there. And until next time, peace.